Burial by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. Mine is a body that should die at sea, and have for a grave, instead of a grave 6 feet deep and the length of me, all the water that is under the wave, and terrible fishes to seize my flesh, such as a living man might fear, and eat me while I am firm and fresh, not wait till I've been dead for a year. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Christ of the Nether by Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Christ of the Nether. With eyes that seem shrunken to pierce to the awful horizons of land, through the haze of hot days and the fierce white heat waves that flow on the sand, through the Neverland westward and norward, bronzed, bearded and gaunt on the track, quiet voiced and hard knuckled rides forward, the Christ of the outer outback. For the cause that will ne'er be relinquished, spite of all the great cynics on earth, in the ranks of the bush undistinguished by manner or dress if by birth, God's preacher of churches unheeded, God's vineyard though barren the sod, plain spokesman where spokesman is needed, rough link twixt the bushman and God. He works where the hearts of all nations are withered in flame from the sky, where the sinners work out their salvations in a hell upon earth ere they die, in the camp or the lonely hut lying in a waste that seems out of God's sight. He's the doctor, the mate of the dying, through the smothering heat of the night. By his work in the hells of the shearers, where the drinking is ghastly and grim, where the roughest and worst of his hearers have listened bareheaded to him. By his paths through the parched desolation, hot rides and the terrible tramps, by the hunger, the thirst, the privation of his work in the furthermost camps. By his worth in the light that shall search men and prove aye and justify each, I place him in front of all churchmen who feel not, who know not, but preach. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Gulls by Lucy Maud Montgomery. Read for LibriVox.org by Sweet Pea. Soft is the sky in the mist-curdled east, light is abroad on the sea. All of the heaven with silver is fleeced, holding the sunrise in fee. Lo, with a flash and uplifting of wings, down where the long ripples break, cometh a bevy of glad-hearted things, 'tis morn, for the gulls are awake. Slumber is calm on the ocean and shore, comes with the turn of the tide. Never a strong sweeping pinion may soar where the tame fishing boats ride. Far and beyond, in blue deserts of sea, where the wild winds are at play, there may the spirits of sea birds be free, 'tis noon, for the gulls are away. Over the rim of the sunset is blown sea dusk of purple and gold. Speed now the wanderers back to their own wings, the most tireless must fold. Homeward together at twilight they flock, sated with joys of the deep. Drowsily huddled on headland and rock, 'tis night, for the gulls are asleep. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Inland by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. People that build their houses inland People that buy a plot of ground shaped like a house, and build a house there, far from the seaboard, far from the sound of water sucking the hollow ledges, tons of water striking the shore. What do they long for, as I long for one salt smell of the sea once more? People the waves have not awakened, spanking the boats at the harbour's head. What do they long for, as I long for, starting up in my inland bed, beating the narrow walls and finding neither a window nor a door, screaming to God for death by drowning, one salt taste of the sea once more? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
The Isle of Long Ago by Benjamin Franklin Taylor. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. Oh, a wonderful stream is the river of time, as it runs through the realm of tears, with a faultless rhythm and a musical rhyme, and a boundless sweep and a surge sublime, as it blends with the ocean of years. How the winters are drifting like flakes of snow, and the summers like buds between, and the year in the sheaf, so they come and they go, on the river's breast with its ebb and flow, as it glides in the shadow and sheen. There's a magical isle up the river of time, where the softest of airs are playing. There's a cloudless sky and a tropical clime, and a song as sweet as a vesper chime, and the Junes with the roses are staying. And the name of that isle is the Long Ago, and we bury our treasures there. There are brows of beauty and bosoms of snow. There are heaps of dust, but we love them so. There are trinkets and tresses of hair. There are fragments of song that nobody sings, and a part of an infant's prayer. There's a lute unswept, and a harp without strings. There are broken vows and pieces of rings, and the garments that she used to wear. There are hands that are waved when the fairy shore by the mirage is lifted in air, and we sometimes hear through the turbulent roar sweet voices we heard in the days gone before, when the wind down the river is fair. Oh, remembered for aye be the blessed isle, all the day of our life till night. When the evening comes with its beautiful smile, and our eyes are closing to slumber awhile, may that greenwood of soul be in sight. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Like the Touch of Rain by Edward Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. Like the touch of rain she was, on a man's flesh and hair and eyes, when the joy of walking thus has taken him by surprise. With the love of the storm he burns, he sings, he laughs, well I know how. But forget when he returns, as I shall not forget her, go now. Those two words shut a door between me and the blessed rain that was never shut before and will not open again. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
O Captain, my Captain, by Walt Whitman. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. August 24th, 2014. O Captain, my Captain, our fearful trip is done. The ship has weathered every wrack, the prize we sought is won. The port is near, the bells I hear, the people all exulting, while follow eyes the steady keel, the vessel grim and daring. But oh heart, 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 oh the bleeding drops of red, where on the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold and dead. O Captain, my Captain, rise up and hear the bells. Rise up, for you the flag is flung, for you the bugle trills, for you bouquets and ribboned wreaths, for you the shores are crowding, for you they call, the swaying mass, their eager faces turning. Here, Captain, dear father, this arm beneath your head, it is some dream that on the deck you've fallen, cold and dead. My captain does not answer, his lips are pale and still. My father does not feel my arm, he has no pulse nor will. The ship is anchored safe and sound, its voyage closed and done. From fearful trip the victor ship comes in with object won. Exult, O shores, and ring, O bells! But I, with mournful tread, walk the deck my captain lies, fallen, cold, and dead. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Out of Touch by Jean H. Watson. Read for LibriVox.org by Nathan Yoder. Only a smile, yes, only a smile, that a woman o'erburdened with grief expected from you, 'twould have given relief, for her heart ached sore the while. But weary and cheerless she went away, because as it happened that very day you were out of touch with your Lord. Only a word, yes, only a word, that the Spirit's small voice whispered, "Speak." But the worker passed onward, unblessed and weak, whom you were meant to have stirred to courage, devotion, and love anew, because when the message came to you, you were out of touch with your Lord. Only a note, yes, only a note, to a friend in a distant land. The Spirit said, "Write," but then you had planned some different work, and you thought it mattered little. You did not know 'twould have saved a soul from sin and woe. You were out of touch with your Lord. Only a song, yes, only a song, that the Spirit said, "Sing tonight. Thy voice is thy master's by purchased right." But you thought, "Mid this motley throng, I care not to sing of the city of gold." And the heart that your words might have reached grew cold. You were out of touch with your Lord. Only a day, yes, only a day. But oh, can you guess, my friend, where the influence reaches and where it will end, of the hours that you frittered away? The Master's command is, "Abide in me," and fruitless and vain will your service be if out of touch with your Lord. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Promised Land Tomorrow by Gerald Massey. Read for LibriVox.org by Nathan Yoder. High hopes that burned like stars sublime go down the heavens of freedom, and true hearts perish in the time we bitterliest need them. But never sit we down and say, "There's nothing left but sorrow." We walk the wilderness today, the promised land tomorrow. Our birds of song are silent now, there are no flowers blooming, but life beats in the frozen bough, and freedom's spring is coming. And freedom's tide comes up alway, though we may stand in sorrow, and our good bark aground today shall float again tomorrow. Though hearts brood o'er the past, our eyes with shining futures glisten. Lo, now the dawn bursts up the skies. Lean out your souls and listen. The earth rolls freedom's radiant way and ripens with her sorrow, and 'tis the martyrdom today brings victory tomorrow. Through all the long night of the years the people's cry ascended. The earth was wet with blood and tears ere their meek sufferings ended. The few shall not forever sway, the many toil and sorrow. The bars of hell are strong today, but Christ shall rise tomorrow. 'Tis weary watching wave on wave, but still the tide heaves onward. We climb like corals, grave on grave, but build a pathway sunward. We're beaten back in many a fray, but strength divine will borrow, and where our vanguard rests today, our rears shall march tomorrow. Then youth, flame earnest, still aspire with energies immortal. To many a haven of desire your yearning opes a portal. And though age wearies by the way and hearts break in the furrow, we sow the golden grain today, the harvest comes tomorrow. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Psalm 23, King James Version. Read for LibriVox.org by Sweetpea. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. For thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Song by John Donne. Read for LibriVox.org by Peter Tucker. Go and catch a falling star. Get with child a mandrake root. Tell me where all past years are, or who cleft the devil's foot. Teach me to hear mermaids singing, or to keep off envy's stinging, and find what wind serves to advance an honest mind. If thou beest born to strange sights, things invisible to see, ride 10,000 days and nights, till age snow white hairs on thee. Thou, when thou return'st, wilt tell me all strange wonders that befell thee, and swear nowhere lives a woman true and fair. If thou find'st one, let me know, such a pilgrimage were sweet, yet do not, I would not go, though at next door we might meet. Though she were true when you met her, and last, till you write your letter, yet she will be false ere I come to 2 or 3. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. Visions by Charles Stewart Calverley. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. She was a phantom, etc. In lone Glenotney's thickets lies couched the lordly stag. The dreaming terrier's tail forgets its customary wag, and plodding ploughmen's weary steps insensibly grow quicker, as broadening casements light them on towards home, or home-brewed liquor. It is, in fact, the evening, that pure and pleasant time, when stars break into splendor and poets into rhyme, when in the glass of memory the forms of loved ones shine, And when, of course, Miss Goodchild's is prominent in mine. Miss Goodchild, Julia Goodchild, how graciously you smiled upon my childish passion once, yourself a fair-haired child, when I was, no doubt, profiting by Dr. Crabb's instruction, and sent those streaky lollipops home for your fairy suction. She wore her natural roses the night when first we met. Her golden hair was gleaming 'neath the coercive net. Her brow was like the snowdrift, her step was like Queen Mab's, and gone was instantly the heart of every boy at Crabb's. The parlor boarder chassayed towards her on graceful limb, the onyx decked his bosom, but her smiles were not for him. With me she danced, till drowsily her eyes began to blink, and I brought raisin wine and said, "Drink, pretty creature, drink." And evermore when winter comes in his garb of snows, and the returning schoolboy is told how fast he grows, shall I, with that soft hand in mine, enact ideal answers, and dream I hear demure remarks, and make impassioned answers? I know that never, never may her love for me return. At night I muse upon the fact with undisguised concern. But ever shall I bless that day. I don't bless as a rule the days I spent at Dr. Crabb's preparatory school. And yet we two may meet again. Be still, my throbbing heart. Now rolling years have weaned us from jam and raspberry tart. One night I saw a vision. 'Twas when musk roses bloom. We stood upon a rug in a sumptuous dining room. One hand clasped hers, one easily reposed upon my hip, and "Bless ye!" burst abruptly from Mr. Goodchild's lip. I raised my brimming eye, and saw in hers an answering gleam. My heart beat wildly, and I woke. And lo! it was a dream. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain. The Wind and the Moon by George MacDonald. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. Said the wind to the moon, "I will blow you out. You stare in the air like a ghost in a chair, always looking what I am about. I hate to be watched. I'll blow you out." The wind blew hard, and out went the moon, so deep on a heap of clouds to sleep, down lay the wind and slumbered soon, muttering low, "I've done for that moon." He turned in his bed. She was there again. On high in the sky, with her one ghost eye, the moon shone white and alive and plain. Said the wind, "I will blow you out again." The wind blew hard, and the moon grew dim. "With my sledge and my wedge I have knocked off her edge. If only I blow right fierce and grim, the creature will soon be dimmer than dim." He blew, and she thinned to a thread. "One puff more's enough to blow her to snuff. One good puff more where the last was bred, and glimmer, glimmer, glum will go the thread." He blew a great blast, and the thread was gone. In the air nowhere was a moonbeam bare. Far off and harmless the shy stars shone. Sure and certain the moon was gone. The Wind he took to his revels once more. On down in town, like a merry mad clown, he leaped and hallooed with whistle and roar. "What's that?" The glimmering thread once more. He flew in a rage, he danced and blew, but in vain was the pain of his bursting brain, for still the broader the moon scrap grew, the broader he swelled his big cheeks and blew. Slowly she grew, till she filled the night, and shone on her throne in the sky alone, a matchless, wonderful, silvery light, radiant and lovely, the Queen of the Night. Said the Wind, "What a marvel of power am I! With my breath, good faith, I blew her to death, first blew her away right out of the sky, then blew her in. What strength have I?" But the Moon, she knew nothing about the affair, for high in the sky, with her one white eye, motionless miles above the air, she had never heard the great wind blare. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.